This is my beginner stitches tutorial, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to do the puff stitch. And I just finished a couple of rows of single crochets, and now I'm going to show you how you would begin a row with a puff stitch. Chain 2, then turn your work, and then some puff stitches require you to yarn over and go into your stitch anywhere from 3 to 6 times. I'm going to be showing you 4 times. So what you do is you yarn over and you go into your stitch, pull up a loop, and then you want to pull up to match your chain 2 that you did so that it's all even. Then you yarn over again, you go into that same stitch, pull up another loop, and then you pull that up as well. That's twice. You want to do it 2 more times. So you yarn over, go into your stitch, pull up a loop, and then you pull that up the same height as the rest. Last time, yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull up a loop, and then again pull that up. Then you want to yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook. And then you want to chain 1, which will secure the popcorn, which will secure the puff stitch. Then you want to chain 1, and then so you now have a total of 2 chains here, but a lot of the puff stitches will count this first chain that connects them, this one here, after you've pulled through all your loops, and you chain 1 here that connects them all together, brings them together. They usually don't count that as the first chain. They just count that as part of the stitch. So be careful when it says to chain 2 after you've done a puff stitch, because it may mean that you need to chain additionally 2 more. Okay? So I've done my first chain to close my puff stitch, and now I'm only going to chain 1. And then I'm going to skip a stitch and into the next. You want to yarn over and go in to that next stitch. And again, pull up a loop, pull up to meet your first stitch here, the same height. Then you yarn over, go back into that stitch, pull up another loop, and again pull that up, yarn over, go in. We did that twice, so this is going to be our 3rd time. Pull up, yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull up another loop, and pull it all up to match as best you can. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. Then when you're ready, you yarn over and you pull through all the loops on your hook, just like that. And to end the stitch, you want to chain 1, which brings that all together. Now I'm going to show you that in slow-mo. Remember, before we start our next stitch, you want to chain 1 and skip a stitch. Okay, I just want to show you how to end the round and to work the next row of puff stitches. Again, it's very important. If you see a pattern that says puff stitch, make sure, because usually they'll have a little note on how to do their puff stitch. Now this teaches you the general idea of what you need to do, but make sure that you read how many times they want you to yarn over. Like I said again, this is 4. I'm yarning over 4 times. Some will say 3, some will say 5, some will say 6. So please pay attention to that in the pattern. Now I've just finished my last puff stitch of this row. Now I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to go ahead, since I have 1 extra stitch here, I'm just going to go ahead and do a double crochet in this last stitch. See how it kind of goes to the side? And you may not be able to see it very well, but I've noticed if it starts to kind of go to the side, you can go in through this side little stitch here. But that's probably for another tutorial. Anyway, now I want to show you how to end the round. I just finished my last puff stitch here, so I want to chain 1, and I have 1 stitch left here, so I'm going to just do a double crochet in this last stitch. Now you want to chain 2 and turn. Now working in the next row of puff stitches, you want to work in this hole made by when you chained 1 to bring the stitch all together, you left a hole at the top, and that's the hole you want to work in. So what we're going to do is yarn over, we're going to go into that hole, and I'll show you when we get done the hole that I mean. Let me just do this puff stitch real quick and I'll show you. 3 and 4. Okay, the hole I'm talking about is after you pull through all your stitches and you chain 1, you have this hole now at the top, and that's what we're going to be working in this row. So what you do is you chain again after you've completed your puff stitch, yarn over, go into that top stitch, and pull up, and you do the puff stitch as normal. And I just wanted to show you now what it looks like at the end of your row. Now when you want to start your 3rd row, you want to chain 2, turn again, and now you work in this first top stitch and you make your puff stitch there, just as normal. And you're chaining. You chain 1 after you're done with the puff stitch. You yarn over, and then you just, again, you go in through that top one and you just continue to work. And every time you get to the end where you have a double crochet, make sure you do your double crochet, chain 2 and turn. And that is how you do the puff stitch. Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned for more beginning tutorials.